G'day guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Captain James Force. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, look, if you didn't see, I made a video about it. We hit YouTube partner in between videos, and I wanted to thank everyone so much. Yeah, it really means a lot to me. But let's crack on. It's Planet Crafter time, and today I'm coming to you with 5 tips and tricks for beginners. And you know, maybe if you're advanced as well, you might get something out of it, but it's mainly aimed at beginners, kind of things to look out for and things to understand kind of when you're starting to play the game. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So the first piece of advice I have for beginner players is pretty simple. When you start a brand new game, you know, I already have 3 saved games here, but when you start a brand new game, firstly, you don't get to choose the name of the save file. That's coming later. But my advice is to stick with both standards on both things. So if you look at game modes, you have standard, you have relaxing, you have intense, and you have hardcore. And then if you look at landing site, you have standard, grand rift, sandfalls, and random. When you're a new player, grand rift and sandfalls will mean absolutely nothing to you, and random is just random. But my advice for your first playthrough at least, and probably even your second, is to start on both standards, because this is kind of going to give you the most kind of pure experience of how the game is going to be played. And as we load into what it looks like, you know, this is where you're going to start. You're going to start in the basin. You're going to appear in a random spot here. Like, you can start over here, you can start kind of up here, but this is going to give you like the purest experience by actually starting standard and standard, at least for the first time. Once you know, you've gone through the first time, you can get as funky as you want. You can kind of do whatever it is you're going to do. But for the first time, I highly recommend that you just start with both things as standard, and then you learn how to play the game from there. My second tip is quite a simple one, and it really has to do with the pacing of the game. If you're a new player, and as you can see, the terraformation index is moving up quite quickly. If you're a new player and you're kind of struggling, or things feel like they're going too quickly, and you don't feel like you have enough time to do things before, you know, the next thing unlocks, and you're just getting a little overwhelmed, or you might have a base and be like, you know what, I actually hate this base. I don't like it. It needs a total rebuild. I need to completely kind of redo what I'm doing. Don't be afraid to just get rid of your power. Don't be afraid to stop the terraformation index and then fix everything and then go back to it, because it's still going to be there. Like, it's not going to go away anytime soon. So there is no kind of issue deconstructing whatever power you have, or just deconstructing enough power that the rest of your base stops, then doing all the things, and then replenishing your power. This is especially useful in a base move. Get rid of your power first, because what you'll have is essentially, you'll start moving your base, and you'll have your power going in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and as you kind of like start moving your power. So my advice would be, move your power first, kind of set your power up where you want to along with the rest of your base, and then move your drills and move your heaters and move your oxygen and move everything that requires power afterwards. So get your power set up correct first, and then move everything else afterwards. But yeah, basically don't be afraid to just cut off your power if you think things are going too fast and you're getting a little bit overwhelmed, because it can happen. The third helpful hint I wanted to talk about is regarding the chests. So there are 2 different types of chests in Planet Crafter. There are blue chests, or blue crates, and there are golden crates. Now, the difference is that the blue crates are basically changeable as you level up. So they will scale with you as you kind of go through the terraformation index. The contents of the blue chests will change. So as you get deeper, you'll get things that are more useful to you than if you open blue chests right at the start. However, the issue with that is that you will need to open some of the early ones at some point. The reason being, you get these blueprint microchips. You're going to need these to unlock different things like agility boots, like some of the microchips require it. There's various different things, the mining speed, there's various different things that will unlock with the microchips. So you want to strike a balance. You want to deconstruct you want to deconstruct boxes and kind of open the blue crates and get microchips, but you also might want to save them until later where you might get better goodies. It's kind of like Schrodinger's blue storage crates, because the more that you open them, you see there's another storage chip in here. Once you open them, they're completely locked. So you kind of don't know what's in them until you open them, and then when you open them, they're locked in place. So you can leave some until later and then come back to them. It's really a choice of what you want, but you will need microchips to kind of make your life much, much easier. So that is something to weigh up. Personally, I kind of just open boxes as I go, but I leave some areas unexplored until much later, and then I'll go and kind of get all the chests in one go and have access to much, much better things later on. On the converse side, golden chests are permanently locked. So golden chests will never actually change what they have inside them. So you can go, and I'm not going to go and farm one and open it because I don't want to provide spoilers. I have another video that explains the location of them all. But it's really, you go and get those chests kind of as soon as you can, because there's some stuff in there that will really, really help your terraformation index really, really increase. So you do want to go and get those. But with the blue chests, I advise getting some, because then you can get these blueprints, and you see there's a lamp and a shredder machine, which is incredibly useful, the shredder machine. So these kind of things you can unlock, but you need them. But, you know, it is a toss-up, because you will find the things that you want, especially out of golden chests. So you do want to leave a few blue chests until later. So yeah, that's kind of the tip there, is open some, but definitely leave a bunch of blue chests as well. The fourth tip that I have is quite a simple one. Explore everything multiple times. Especially as you're going through the terraformation index and as you go through the different stages, go back to where you've been before. Explore everything again. Trust me, you will find things that you thought you cleared out an area, and then you go back and actually you didn't clear it out, or you might have cleared it out then, but many, many more things have kind of appeared in that time. And yeah, there are so many extra things to go and find. Let me find a 2 bottle or 2. I'll show you. You might go to a place like 5, 6, 8 times. Go back again. Especially once you hit Flora. Go back and you will find things that you didn't even know existed. You thought, nah, I've cleared this area completely. There's nothing else for me to find here. I implore you, go back to these places again. I've explored this map on this save, now that I'm at max terraformation index, probably 20 times I've gone back and explored this map. There is nothing else that will change in this map now, or there should be nothing else that will change. But I've gone through this map so many times that there is probably some stuff I still haven't found. But there is so little that I would not have found by now. I mean, there's probably still some stuff, but you know, when you kind of are able to go over this map that many times, there'll be very few things you miss. But every time I come back here, there's always kind of something that I didn't realize was here, or I mean, this is not the perfect lighting to search for anything, given that it's completely pitch black. But there will be things that you miss. There will be things that you're like, nah, I've cleared that area, and then, you know, some other chest appears, or some special flower is there, or something else that will help you along, that if you hadn't have gone back, you wouldn't have found. So that's my advice, is please go back to everywhere that you've discovered. Just do laps. Once you hit Flora and beyond, just do laps of your map, and you will find so many things that you thought you'd gone through that you actually hadn't. So that's my advice is, yeah, just kind of explore everything multiple times. The final piece of advice I have for beginners is, look, it's totally okay to make mistakes. It's totally okay to just look at what you've built. Of course, I have terrible weather for this. It's totally okay to look at everything you built and gone, oh, this is rubbish. Oh my god, I hate it. That's fine. It's perfectly acceptable to do that. The good thing, in fact, the great thing about Planet Crafter is that if you mess something up and you want to dismantle it, you will get all of the resources that you put into it back. So if you build something incorrectly, just dismantle it. You'll get all those resources back, and it's totally okay, especially the first couple of times that you play. You won't have a perfect base. You won't have a perfect system that completely works. If I look at this system, honestly, this could still use improvements. This is by no means a perfect system. Like, there are so many things that I could change and make better and really, like, boost my terraformation index. Like, it's going quite fast, considering, but there's so many, like, better things I could be doing to make this go faster. There's just no point at the moment because there's no insects. But what I'm saying is it's totally okay to look at everything you've built and go, I hate this, and I want to completely change everything, and then go and do that. Because guess what? It's your own game. It's a solo game. You can do that, and it's totally okay. Trust me. So many people have built bases, especially all those people in beta and kind of even earlier. They would have built dozens of bases by now. I mean, I've had like 6 or 7 saves just in early access, so, you know, even that. Look, I have this base. I also started to make this other base all the way over here that I wasn't, like, super enthused about and kind of stopped, but that's alright because there's no stress at the end of the day. You can just do whatever it is you want to. I mean, now there are trees going through it, but this is the kind of base that I tried to put together, and then it was just a bit, nah, by the end, right? And that's okay, because it's my base, and I can kind of do whatever I want with it. And I implore you to do the same. If you don't like a base, that is fine. And the fact that you get all the resources back makes it so much easier to change it. So, yeah, that's kind of like the last bit. Is just don't stress. It's okay. Like, if you don't have a base you like, perfectly fine. Awesome. So, that was 5 tips and tricks on how to play Planet Crafter as a beginner. Please, if you have tips and tricks of your own, please put them down in the comments below. Give the video a like. Feel free to subscribe as we push on past 1,000. We're now going for 10,000, 100,000. Kind of that's the very, very long-term goals. But, you know, we're 1/10 of the way to 10,000, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, like I said, if you have any hints or tips of your own, please put them down in the comments, and I might make another video, you know, a second video based on the kind of comments and tips that you guys have as well. So if you have anything, please feel free to chuck it down below. In the meantime, happy hunting, and good luck terraforming your planets. Until then, peace out.